And this morning, our series about talking to Texans about what's important as they do head to those polls is back.
That's right. Ahead of the election, we're listening to people, not just politicians. It's all an effort to get away from the polls and find the current Texas state of mind.
Jason Allen back home after another road trip, and this time he went to the Texas High Plains.
Everybody's kind of like on edge, don't know what to do.
Are they?
I think so.
And you mean just in the way like they're not sure if they want to spend money or
they think about it twice.
Yeah.
Like think about it. They just bought a house with an 8% interest rate. You know, everything's gone up.
I'm 68 years old. I'm retired. I'm drawn, so I just started drawing Social Security at 66 and a quarter.
But you're still working. You have to be working?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the economy the way it is, my Social Security and her Social Security is not enough to live on.
I think it's all economic too, you know. If we can get bigger factories or bigger something here, people will work more and get off that street, you know, and make things better for the community.
More making things, like you do.
Yeah,
I mean, you're doing it on a small scale.
Yeah, don't ship it from China, you know.
Well, Jason is off the road, and this morning he's in studio with us. So good morning to you first off,
Good
Jason.
morning to both
Good to see you up bright and early. We just heard you tell people about, really, they're voicing their concerns about the Texas economy. So tell us a little bit more about what's on the mind, obviously, of the people across the Panhandle. What are they saying? How are they feeling?
Absolutely. And you hit it, right? Economy is something that came up a lot in these conversations. And in that way, it's maybe not unusual from what you'll hear in regions across the state, maybe even across the country. You know, this is an area, the High Plains, so you're talking Lubbock and Amarillo, and agriculture is still huge there, right? Cotton and cattle. But what really struck me is the way that a lot of people were tying those economic concerns back to the way it would affect their way of life, right? Their family, their values. Is this going to impact me in these rural areas which I live? Because that's really what I hold on to. That's what I value about living in the Panhandle and the High Plains.
Yeah, because I mean, oftentimes just folks in that area can feel isolated, and they want to protect their little domain that's out there, for sure.
100%.
Okay, so obviously the Panhandle, it's a pretty solid red part of the state.
Absolutely.
So do they feel like voting Republican is going to be the answer to those priorities?
It's absolutely red, right?
Okay,
They're definitely no doubt about it. However, in these conversations, and I should say, we don't lead people, or we try not to lead people into politics when we talk to them.
Sure.
If they want to go there, we will go there with them. But we had people bring up politics and really some uncertainty that crept in, right? And it didn't matter which way they were voting. There were a lot of people who expressed they weren't so sure if their chosen candidate or their chosen party was really going to deliver for them, no matter who they voted for this year.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Now, we know that you went to West Texas a week ago. That's the story that aired
You can find that
previously.
online. That's at cbstexas.com.
How did you feel like the two maybe disagreed or maybe agreed?
I think that there was probably a little bit more of a split, a divide politically down in West Texas, a little more cohesive up in the High Plains, but definitely some different concerns. And I think you'll get that in the piece when you see it.
I think so, too. And just to mention this before we forget, I know that we're running out of time here. There was a gentleman that mentioned earlier his retirement and being concerned about work, too. And I heard you ask him, do you feel like you're still going to be working? And he said yes. Is that also a concern? Is just the job force and what retirement's going to look like?
And this was not the only place in this region where we talked to people who were either having to continue working after retiring or working 2 jobs or working 3 jobs. We've heard that in some other regions, too.
So, again, the full report is going to be available tonight at 10 o'clock. We hope you'll tune in and see it. And then, again, the West Texas version of the story is available on CBSTexas.com. Lots of extras also online, including a fun road trip
Don't miss the playlist.
that you put together.
It's getting
Jason,
very big.
Talk to folks about what songs they listened to on a road trip, compiled it all, and it's available for you on CBSNewsTexas.com.
We're interested to see that. Well, the time